We are back in with UFC Noche. This time it's in Texas. This Noche card is pathetic. I'm sorry to say, we just came off the Paris banger, so I know any card is going to look just awful in comparison, but this card is pretty meh. Like, biggest names on here, outside of the main event, like, who's selling this thing? Rob Font, Kelvin Gastelum, I guess Alexander Hernandez, Carlos Diego Ferreira, but like casuals don't know them. Ugh. Good prospects, so we will get into it. We'll give a full breakdown here. You already know what it is. We're going Gene Silva. His plot armor hasn't run out yet. Diego Lopes, look, man, I know he's a fan favorite, and he had a really quick rise, and we sort of praised his activity. 3 fights 2023, 3 fights in 2024. Very quick career. And same thing with Gene Silva. These guys have just come in by storm, getting their finishes, looking good. But Gene Silva, 5 finishes in his last 5 fights. All in rounds 1 or 2. I mean, has been hit with strikes, but no visible damage on Gene Silva through a single fight that I've seen. Kevin Vallejos, no. And Vallejos is kind of a good boxer, can get the volume out there. Has knockouts. Excuse me. Weston Wilson, complete step down. But then, like, from there on out, like, Jordan Dober, even Melsik Bagdasarian, like, we respect these guys. They're good on the feet. And then Bryce Mitchell, Gene Silva finally gets dealt like a puzzle to figure out. Bryce Mitchell with the grappling, the farm strength, and just fucking handles him, man. So it's really hard to predict exactly how a Lopes matchup will go. Lopes, same thing, pocket, longer, taller guy, but still in the pocket throwing. Likes to get cracked, and just, I don't know what Lopez's X factor is, man. Like, last win, Brian Ortega, 15 minutes, nearly gets a finish in the first round, but then just has a patient little thing with Brian Ortega. I don't like it, man. And close fight with Dan Ige. I think Gene Silva's a level above. First round finishes, he definitely figured out these guys, but like Gavin Tucker, Pat Sabatini, even Yusuf, what are they doing now, like, with their careers? Ortega's soon to be probably cut from the UFC if he keeps looking the way he does. But my main thing with Gene Silva, okay, is his use of mind games. And in any professional sport, you're not going to see a lot of this. You're not going to see people playing to the crowd, being humorous in the middle of a fight. MMA, boxing, anything. The people who do this and that are at the top of the sport have just insane confidence that they know they're a level above. They just know for a fact. And they have that belief that they're so good that they can get away with mind games and trickery and trash talk in the cage, in the fight, in the heat of the moment. You know, Diego Lopes, emotional guy, screaming at Volkanovski and, like, pointing down, all this stuff. This is the perfect target for a Gene Silva masterclass finish. He's going to go out there. He's going to have fun. And Diego Lopes, I don't know, man. I just don't know if he's ready. He wasn't ready for Volk. Volk is one thing. Incredibly credentialed and high-caliber opponent. But Gene Silva's on a run. He's in prime. He's a physical freak. Cuts a lot of weight. Is big, physical in there. Never takes damage. I don't know. I can't ignore the Gene Silva momentum. Just because my guy Kyle Baralho dropped the bag, okay? So it's Gene Silva. We're riding with it. He's a very polarizing figure in the MMA space, to say the least. You can be a Gene Silva hater and a Diego Lopes enjoyer. I'm never going to hate you for that. But yeah, keep politics out of it, man. We're here for fight styles. Gene Silva is the pick. Sorry, Diego Lopes. I wanted a, like, Yair matchup. I wanted somebody, like, farther down. I don't know who I wanted, but yeah, Lerone Murphy, Evloev rematch? I don't know. This wasn't the fight I wanted to see for Lopes. So we're going to go Gene Silva. Willing it into existence. Yes, the main events have been cursed, but if I'm going down, the fighting nerds are going down with me, okay? Rob Font, David Martinez. David Martinez has a pretty impressive regional resume as far as how he's getting his finishes. Dangerous striker, very tactical, precise counter striker, which will give Rob Font problems, man. We've seen fighters like this really stifle Rob Font. Figueiredo definitely kind of showed that. Even Marlon Vera, when there's a power advantage up against Rob Font, he really struggles, man. Even Aldo. Garbrandt was kind of a deer in headlights. Font's jab was super problematic there, and that was a good fight. But this 2025 Font against this fresh 12-1 Black Spartan David Martinez, KOs on regionals with like wheel kicks, flying knees. Go check him out. They're brutal. It's just, can he replicate that in the UFC cage? I think on this occasion he can. I just don't see a world where Rob Font rebuilds to like a winning streak, man. He looks old. He had some pretty pathetic performances against these higher names. I'm going to ride with a David Martinez coming in on short notice and freaking out Rob Font with power and either winning a 2-1 decision or... yeah, we'll go with that. 2-1 decision. He could... I don't see him knocking out Rob Font. It's been pretty damn hard to do that, but I see him landing a knockdown. Look, Rob Font is so damaged, man. The Marlon Vera performance... Adrian Yanez busted him up in one round, even though he won that fight dominantly with his own KO. Rob Font's taken some damage, man. And I know the... what's their name? The New England Cartel guys are known for absorbing damage, but... dude, get out of the sport before you get got. David Martinez is dangerous. We're going to ride with it. Rafa Garcia, Jared Gordon. Please don't let this end up as the feature fight, but it's in a couple of days, so I'm afraid it's going to be. We're going to go Rafa Garcia against, everybody's favorite Jared Gordon. And, it's the popular opinion to just pick Jared Gordon to win and, like, be a fan of his because, yes, he's been robbed by Pimblett. Yes, he's been headbutted out cold by King Green. And the Nazareth robbery. So, yeah, Jared Gordon, unlucky career. He's not bad. It's just there's nothing crazy about him, and that's the kind of opponent Rafa Garcia can beat. Rafa Garcia... expert cardio, expert durability, rock chin. We got Texas judges here. They know nothing about the sport of fighting. So some of these matchups, feel free to coin flip them. Because if you think they're going to decision, it's not going Jared Gordon's way. Let me tell you that. If history is any indication, we're going Rafa Garcia. Kelvin Gastelum, Dustin STOLTZFUS. Interesting, like, layup opportunity for Gastelum, I guess. The company loves him, by the way. You see, like, these newer guys now, and they miss weight and they're gone. Kelvin Gastelum's always had weight issues, and the UFC likes keeping him around. They always have. Probably because he came up through The Ultimate Fighter. I don't know if he's got, like, some special privilege or whatnot. But his career these days, not great. His last losses to Sean Brady, Joe Pyfer, the new generation, did figure him out in their own ways. Pyfer kind of fluffed a finish, but Brady just schooled him with grappling and submitted him, Kimura style. But when he's up against a striker, Daniel Rodriguez, Chris Curtis, respectable guys, he can get the win. Really problematic style, Gastelum. Short, chubby, but like block head, block chin. You can't hurt Gastelum to the body. It's super, super hard to drop him, wobble him. So that's always been his, Kelvin Gastelum's selling point. Yeah, not a fan of him personally, and like because of the weight missing stuff, but cool style, definitely cool style. Dustin STOLTZFUS, primarily a wrestler, grappler. I think he still trains at Extreme. I'm not too sure. I believe he's from Germany or whatever. He has sort of a fluke win over Pyfer. Big slam, and Pyfer broke his arm trying to post on it. Amateur shit from Salty Man Pyfer. Other than that, Punelli Soriano isn't an impressive win. I'm sorry. Like, lower level Extreme guy. Did KO Uros Medic, so maybe I should have shut my mouth. Marc-Andre Barrios, his last win, isn't good, man. A one-punch KO over Barrios. Wait, that's kind of actually good. That kind of makes Shara Magomedov look really bad. So yeah, I don't know. Dustin STOLTZFUS, though, so slow on the feet. I guess he has power to take out a Barrios, but man. Sean Strickland's called this guy a pussy before, and they trained together. Interesting stuff, man. Just seems like a Gastelum get-back spot. I hate this card. Like, what is this? Please give me a cool main card to care about and break down. Wow, not good so far, guys. Alexander Hernandez, Diego Ferreira. Good lightweights that I care about. I hate Hernandez. Even without the Chase Hooper knockout that he just gave us. I just don't like his energy, don't like his vibe. He has this kind of schoolyard bully aura. I'm sure you guys agree. just bratty. Like, dude, you're in your 30s. Like, he acts like a teenager. Not a fan. Has really embarrassing losses to really bad fighters. Damon Jackson, Bill Algeo, Billy Q. Yuck. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Drew Dober, Donald Cerrone. Yeah, it's tough to really pick apart his career. I think he's just super... what's the word? One-trick pony, we've called him before. Just looking for his big right hand. That's about it. Has some power wrestling in the back pocket. That's about it. Comes from Factory X, I believe. So I guess he sees like Zalal in the gym. I don't know if he's still there, but yeah, 3-fight win streak. So good for you, dude. I think he'll win this because I like Carlos Diego Ferreira, but he's old as fuck. You can't really be picking him to win fights at his age. He's been finished in the past by KO. KO'd by Gregor Gillespie, guys. Do you even remember Gregor Gillespie? Be honest with me in the comments. Were you around watching the UFC when Gregor Gillespie was around? Because this guy was... When did he dip out? He dipped out May 2021. Yeah, this guy is like an anomaly. Like, did he even exist? Did he even happen? Gregor Gillespie. Yeah, so... Carlos Diego Ferreira, great scrambler, like good old jits. He sort of transformed from like a jits player, and as his career went on, really got, you know, seasoned in the striking and has some big underdog wins like Mirbek Taizumov, Anthony Pettis. But I don't know, he's old, man. I just can't trust it. And to be fair, he has a KO win. A big meaty Josh Emmett overhand on the tip of Michael Johnson's chin sent him to the shadows. And Michael Johnson sort of, like, this was a good old unk battle. Like, these guys, like, oh, I guess he unked the unk here, so we got to give him props for that. And Rebecca, at the time, this was a real feather in the cap for Diego, but Rebecca's falling apart by the fight, by the day. Lost to Grant Dawson, but made it closer than a lot of people have, so... Ooh, close fight, close fight. I'm going to go Hernandez because he does get down to business with the right hand, and Carlos Diego Ferreira is just too old. I think Hernandez is literally going to get away with fucking up Chase Hooper, who's, what, 24, 25, and then hops in short notice to just dust up an unk. So we're going to go Hernandez. I don't like it, though. I hate Hernandez. El Gran Chango used to be called the Great Ape. Trying to rebrand. Fuck you. Santiago Luna, Quang Lee. Quang Lee doesn't really belong in the UFC. Had to debut against Chris Gutierrez, who, I tip my hat to you, sir, tough debut, but you got schooled by a leg kick and just did not adapt. He had a good moment where he was on the back of Gutierrez, almost pulled off like a backpack situation submission, and that would have been a big underdog spot there for him. But he fluffed it, didn't get it, then gets Zhao Long, who's crazy, gunslinging Chinaman, knocks him out in round 3, they get going, they get after it, doesn't work out for him. Keeps his job with Gaston Bolanos, who is an NPC, 8-5, doesn't belong in the UFC. Terrible. That's the, if you guys don't remember, Gaston Bolanos is Ilia Tapuria's like evil shadow twin. Yeah, I don't know, he came from Bellator off like some spinning elbow shit, and so they signed him, and now he's kind of getting proved to be like a flukester. Quang Lee's small, unassuming, has grappling licks, but Santiago Luna, yes, he's early in the career, yes, he's young. This guy's an amateur career, he's been fighting pro since 18. I saw him get some good finishes on regionals. He's a fast finisher, and he has ground skills, so I like that for him. He's got a clean record. Quang Lee does not. This is his big moment. Quang Lee is barely keeping his job, so I'm going to go Santiago Luna. Border Boy is something. Yeah, he's a young guy, but check out his regional stuff, see what you like. It's a lot better than anything I've seen from Quang Lee, who is just a bit too small, a bit too unassuming, and underskilled for bantamweight. Doesn't have fight IQ. Speaking of no fight IQ, Jose Medina is still in the UFC. Quick background check on Jose Medina. Chicho. He's a chicken farmer. He fought in Dana White Contender Series, had a pathetic performance, but pulled some like aura farming out of the back pocket and played with the heartstrings of Dana White. There's a twinkle in Dana White's eye, and he said, I gotta sign this fat ass because he's fun. That'd be fun if Medina could get a win in Texas. That would really ignite the crowd. Medina looks like he's from the crowd. Like if you were to pull like, I don't know, just a shit-faced Mexican out of the Texas crowd and throw him into the octagon, he would look no different than Jose Medina. So we're going to go DUSKO Todorovic, guys. Not much to break down on it. Todorovic has UFC wins, has faced pretty decent prospects. Zach Reese, Mansour Abdul-Malik. We can trust in it. He had a rocky last few years with the injuries, but look, man, he's dangerous. He has 2 performance bonuses. He has heavy hands. He understands the issue. He knows how to deal damage. And Jose Medina just not the guy to dish any damage back. He's not fat anymore. He did slim down from 205, but got signed off the Contender Series for just being fun and fat. Like Dana White's like, I gotta have this guy. Awful. He's clearly not ready. You send him back to regionals so he can grow. What have you done? You've thrown him into the big leagues. He can't swim. And these aren't even sharks. Oteba Gautier is a shark, but Zachary Reese gets chewed up and spit out. Todorovic can get this done. He's also on a 3-fight losing streak, but I trust in it. I do not trust Medina, even if he is fat and fun. Claudio Puelles, JOAQUIM Silva. Interesting little matchup. Weird style clash here. JOAQUIM Silva, big power puncher. Famous for rocking Armin Sarukian, putting him on skates, exposing Armin's weak chin and stand-up. This guy just doesn't have the wins I'm looking for. Clay Guida, Jesse Ronson. He did KO Gordon. What is this? No, we'll pick Silva. We'll pick Silva. I just remember this guy getting kicked to the body by Dan Hooker and quitting. 4 strikes in a 15-minute fight. What? This is not how you MMA fight, man. I know it's for SCM, and it's a tough, steep opponent, crafty prospect, but only shooting. Shooting. No strikes. Yes, he has control time, but like, what the fuck? Wow. Yeah, we gotta go JOAQUIM Silva. This can't be trusted. I don't care if you're, I don't know, Gordon Ryan on the mat. We need some strikes in an MMA fight, man. Go out there, JOAQUIM Silva. Please don't make any mistakes. You don't take your career seriously, fighting once every year at most. 2-year layoffs, 3-year layoffs. Not a fan of you either, but we'll go with you because Puelles is not a complete fighter. So, is what it is. Tatiana Suarez, Amanda Lemos. Ooh, I like this one. I like this matchup. Tatiana Suarez trying to bounce back off the Weili Zhang loss. Super pathetic. Showed to have no striking whatsoever against Weili Zhang. Really just used her striking to completely shut down everything of Suarez and eventually banked her own control and her own grappling on the pure grappler, wrestler chick. So completely shut down in every aspect by the champion last time out. Tatiana Suarez is, of course, linked up with Patchy Mix. Take that for what you will. Can they be trusted? As for her wins, are there wins in here we respect? Sure, Jessica Andrade getting it done with a guillotine choke. Not getting ripped up on the feet too bad by big meaty hooks. Montana De La Rosa, no. Nina Nunes, no! Oh, Alexa Grasso's on there. Okay. We can respect that. Pre-feet picks, Alessa Grasso was subbed out by Suarez. 2018, though. Long time ago. Suarez, what have you done for me lately? An Andrade win ain't doing it anymore. I know that's kind of the benchmark to, like, say that you're a serious women's MMA fighter, but other than that, you don't have any wins that I respect. Nina Nunes. Montana De La Rosa, I'm sorry. We got to look at Lemos, who's coming off a decent little grappling win, and she's a striker, so please don't think you can grapple with Suarez. Go out there, Lemos. Do what you do best. Lemos is my violence queen, okay? I'm a simp for Amanda Lemos. She goes for KOs. At least she did in her prime. Dangerous, violent chick. Very, very fun. Just love the way she stands, takes punishment, dishes out punishment. Amanda Lemos is fun, but she's old, so I'm afraid any fight now she could just say, I'm out. Born in 87. So what are we thinking? Who's going to win the fight, though? Because all it takes from Suarez is like one slimy takedown, and then she'll get to chaining them together, and that's a problem for Lemos. So I hate the pick. I'm gonna pick Suarez. I love Lemos with all my heart. One of the few women out there that like goes for knockouts, does damage, fun style, fast hands, powerful. But Suarez's whole game is built to strip that apart, take her down, get to sliming it up. Look for a choke, maybe. We'll see, though. It'll be close. I'm going to go Suarez. I hate the pick, though. Jesus Aguilar, Luis Gurule, not much to say on it. Flyweights going at it. They like to put the lighter weight classes on the Noche cards. It's interesting. Jesus Aguilar, respectable losses. Slimed out by the fat fuck Rafael Estevam, who is a weight bully at flyweight. No respect for it. And Tatsuro Taira. A triangle armbar. Dusted up by Taira in the early days. Fresh off the Contender Series. That's pretty crazy work. So we can forgive that. Bounces back with a crazy KO of Shannon Ross. That kind of went viral. But yeah, he's very, very small. 5'4", victim height, 62-inch reach. He will be doing no striking against a pretty decent guy. Luis Gurule got starched by Ode Osborne. Yes. Starched by Ode Osborne. Ref stops it before he can recover. But this guy's good. Comes from Factory X. So he's seeing some decent guys in the gym. I think he's from Factory X. He said... I saw an interview where said he was training with Corey Sandhagen. So I think he's born... Yeah, he's a Denver guy. Yeah, he's a Denver, Colorado guy. All good. So, elevation trained Luis Gurule. Good training partners. Had a decent little win on Contender Series. Judges almost fucked it up. I don't know, though, dude. This is a close fight. Luis Gurule was undefeated before getting starched by Ode Osborne. And, look, Ode Osborne had a damn near win over Steve Urseg. So, he's actually kind of underrated. He could be cut at any moment. His career is full of losses. But, dude, I just think differently about Steve Urseg now. And I don't mind a loss to him from Luis Gurule. I think this guy's actually good. He has good training partners. He's trained with Corey Sandhagen, Factory X. I like that. Jesus Aguilar, very, very small. No punch power whatsoever. Not even a good striker. Strikes landed per minute is 1.7, guys. I'm going to go Luis Gurule. But it's a Mexico event. Judges are corrupt and retarded, so take what you will from that. Zachary Reese, SEDRIQUES DUMAS, guys. This is the heater that should be the feature fight. Texas White Trash versus the Reaper himself, the mugshot Reaper, SEDRIQUES DUMAS. Interesting middleweight prospects, okay? Two American boys, very wild in their own right. Zachary Reese looks like he's on coke half the time. SEDRIQUES DUMAS can't stay out of prison. So picture this, you guys. You are SEDRIQUES DUMAS, okay? You have made it off regionals, you've won, and landed yourself in the UFC. Incredible career accomplishment. Thousands of MMA fighters will never achieve what you've achieved. But yet you claim to be broke and you can't stay out of prison. Like, you have to be hungry for this win. If you're broke and you are on a UFC contract, I expect SEDRIQUES DUMAS to put everything into this. Everything into this fight camp, other than the Josh Fremd one. He claimed to be high. I think he claimed to be high off something in that fight. You can find an interview of it. Eye poked by Nursultan Ruzaboev. Fluke. Big fluke if you've seen the fight. Eye poke situation. And then gets stopped by Mikhail Alexijuk. New fighting nerd just dropped. Mikhail Alexijuk. I can forgive this loss. I don't mind SEDRIQUES DUMAS' chances. He's a meme, okay? At the end of the day, he's a meme. Do I think he's going to go far? No. But I'll pick him to win here. Zachary Reese. He's a dangerous guy, but he's a little bit of a glass cannon. That's been proved again by the Twitter phenom, Azmat Bakoev. Guy's trying to be a comedian on Twitter. Love it. Cody Brundage slam KO. Bad for your health. And then the Azmat Bakoev KO. Gets stopped by ground and pound, and then the ref comes in with like the people's elbow and smashes the back of his head into the canvas. So I think they're pretty similar height and reach. Yeah, Dumas has got the reach. Dumas has a great reach of 79 inches, so I think a few edges are in Dumas's court. Alessandro Costa, Alden Correa. Interesting flyweight fight here. Alessandro Costa, you may know of him. He trains with Diego Lopes. I believe his fight camp is called Brazilian Warriors, something like that. So comes from a good camp. He's very, very short and stubby and small for even for the flyweight division. Just a bit too fun-sized, doesn't pack a lot of power. Is coming off a ground stoppage over Kevin Borjas. You know, got on top, did punches from top position, got a ref stoppage, so good stuff. Had a good game plan going into there, shut Borjas down, got the finish. Lost to Steve Erceg. Unanimous decision loss. And KO'd by Amir Albazi. This is kind of the red flag. We can't have that, man. As soon as you're KO'd as a flyweight, it's tough. Even Louis Gurule getting KO'd by Ode Osborne. Like, I know Osborne is huge and kind of looks like a bantamweight, if we're being honest. But, like, to be KO'd by Amir Albazi, what? What? So, Alessandro Costa, I know he is well-trained. He's young. He has finishes, and he's been finished. And he is an unranked flyweight. Alden Correa is an interesting case. Brand new guy, not a lot of information on him, nothing here to speak of Alden Correa. He is a teammate of Joshua Van. He comes from 4 Ounce Fight Club. He is a local of Texas. I think he's going to get this win as a plus 350 underdog. He is a regional title holder. The record of 10-3 and 1 no contest is a bit deceiving. The losses are decisions, I believe. And this guy's good, man. He looks really, really good for only having this amount of fights. He's composed. He's in shape. He almost looks like the shadow brother of, like, Joshua Van. Like, there's influence in the way they fight. Like, they've clearly been trained the same sort of way, do you know what I mean? By either... I forget the head coach's name, 4 Ounce. But I know Daniel Pineda's there as a trainer, as a coach. The way they hold their hands when they're boxing. I like the sprawl game, the underhooks. I don't know what Correa's inner grappling's like. I know he has submission wins. I don't know, man. I watch them both fight. Alden Correa looks better. And I know I'm watching him on the regionals, so it's a bit of a different situation. Alessandro Costa's in the UFC, looking how he does. And it looks good. I see why he's favored so much. He has performance bonuses in the UFC. He trains with Diego Lopes. But he ain't Diego Lopes, man. I think Alden Correa is going to be hungrier and get this win on the prelims. So I looked. He's like a 350 underdog. I'm going to ride with it. I think 4 Ounce Fight Club is onto something with Joshua Van. So we're going to go. This guy's, I don't think he's undertrained. He might be underprepared. It's a short notice matchup, but I like his fight style, man. I think he's a bit bigger, but we'll see how it shakes down. I'm going to pick the big underdog just because I think he is sort of in the shadows and just sort of unknown. But I like what I see on the tape. There's tape of him out there. I like what I see. Yes, it's against regional comp, so there's that underlying doubt there that he's not ready for UFC level, but I haven't been blown out of the water by Alessandro Costa either. Unanimous decision loss to Steve Erceg, and then getting KO'd by Amir Albazi is really, really interesting. So, yeah, let's ride with it. I just feel like Correa is going to win, so we're going to ride with it. Montserrat Rendon, Alice Pereira. This is not Pereira's sister, but she will probably be here soon, honestly. This is a different chick. Honestly, same thing. I think she has a kickboxing base. She's undefeated at 6-0. Montserrat Rendon is more boxing-based. She is a bit bigger, I believe. More boxing-based. She's had a couple UFC fights. She split decisioned Tamiris Vidal. That's Tractor Tamiris Vidal. Big, burly butch of a gal. Volumed her up with the boxing. Good stuff. 2-1 win. One judge almost robbed her. She dropped the first round by the looks of it. Good stuff, though. Yeah, she has a boxing base. She's long. I think she's Mexican. I'm not sure, but I trust that she has good trainers. Alice Pereira, lady in the debut. Might succeed with her kickboxing, in all honesty. Might come in, look really ramped and ready to go. Might be kicking at the arms of Montserrat, but yeah, we'll see how it shakes out. She hasn't been in there in a while. I expect a level up in her game from her last loss. So let's see if she evolves and can stop a debutante. Don't know much about these two, but Daniil Donchenko is from the Ukraine, I believe. Very young guy. Started MMA very young. I trust in that. I will pick him to win. He looks like young Yuri. I'm basing the pick purely off of that. High aura pick. And Daniil Donchenko, mini Yuri, born in the Ukraine. Many KOs on the record, striking base, has captured a belt on regionals, this NYSA FC, and won title defense before, I guess, vacating and then joining the Ultimate Fighter, where he picked up a unanimous decision win over 9-1 opponent. And as for Rodrigo Cenzinato, he's a bit older at 27, and coming out of Nova União, that is Jose Aldo's gym, that is Nicolas Moda's gym. So honestly, pretty unknown fight here. I'm going to go with Daniil Donchenko. He's mini Yuri. We need him in the UFC. Rodrigo Cenzinato. We'll see what happens. I don't really care about this. So bing bang boom, that is UFC Noche. Pretty bad card. Honestly, pretty bad card. I'm pretty disappointed in it. Even if we weren't coming off that stunner in Paris, this honestly looks like Apex quality. I know there's a good amount of fights on here, but come on, man. This card needed Yair, but I don't know what Yair's doing these days on like Shanghai, Paris, and then Noche in Texas with like Yair Lopes. I don't know. I guess they wanted to stay active. I don't know if they called each other out or the UFC approached them, Silva Lopes, but it's here. It's a good main event. I'm excited for it. We're going to ride with the Gene Silva plot armor, baby. Free me from this main event curse, you silly bastard, Gene Silva. David Martinez is underrated. Think he's going to beat Rob Font because he's powerful counter striker. Power gives Rob Font problems, and Rob Font is crafty vet, but he is so damaged, man. The amount of damage Rob Font has gone through, it's miraculous how he's on a winning streak. Gastelum's getting a layup. I hate Hernandez, but he's going to get this win because Diego's super, super old and done out of the game. Jose Medina's fat. Don't know why he's on the card or in the UFC. Joaquim Silva rocked Armin Sarukian. Major feather in the cap. I can watch that shit on repeat. And that's really it. Alden Correa is a big underdog who I think is going to win. But other than that, pretty meh card. So I'll see you guys next time.